Good morning and welcome, Patriot Radio News Hour. Joe and Jason, happy Friday. Yeah, you know what? It's been a tough year. A tough few years, Go ahead. You know what? We haven't done it in a while. Put a couple fingers of Jack in the coffee. Why not? Our toll-free number, 800-951-0592. The website at allamericangold.com. And, there's talks going on in Pakistan. They closed it all. They closed the entire country for the big talks. No update yet. No update as to what is happening. I do know this. Israel continues to bomb Lebanon, and Iran continues to hold the Strait hostage, if you will. So there is no change there as of yet. But we did get our first look. So our first look at inflation as the war began. So this is the best of the bad numbers. And what I mean by that is this will be the lowest of the numbers, because we know that April now, right, because they do all the data collection in the first few weeks of the month. So April's going to be higher than this. But it came in pretty much as expected. But I will tell you that I looked deep into this. Should have been higher, but apparently the government's data is a little slow when it comes to something that's actually pretty important in the calculations. But let's just go through the numbers, okay? So 0.9% month over month, okay? And obviously we knew to expect that, right? So that puts inflation, at 11%, right? Okay. So that was a big jump. That was a big jump month over month. The core prices, first, year over year, 3.3 up from 2.4. So obviously a really big jump in the year-over-year number. We'll get a much bigger jump next month. We're going to see this number probably above 4 next month. Just a warning. But I guess if there was good news, by the way, the headlines, one of the highest numbers, going back to April of 2024, the biggest month-over-month jump going back to the COVID in 2022, right when inflation was running pretty hot there. Then when we look at other inside of this, energy index up almost 11%, 10.9. Of course, gasoline up 21%. So we know that gasoline's up about 40%. So we're going to get another jump there. Shelter, it just doesn't stop, up 0.3. But I guess for shelter, it seems like that's what we're going to get like every month lately. The index for food was unchanged. I don't know. Maybe we'll take it. Unfortunately, because of what's happened here, food prices are going to be much higher this year than we were hoping for because of fertilizer. The core, this is where the good news was, up 0.2. So when you strip out food, you strip out energy, right? You do all that stuff. This is where the number got a little squirrely. Inside of that core, one of the biggest factors, used cars and truck prices, which literally just hit a new record. But in this report, it was down 3.2%. So I'm imagining it's going to reverse that number next month. So we'll probably have a hotter core next month. Core CPI also at 3.3%. So that was kind of, I think in line. By the way, the gasoline jumped, the largest monthly increase ever. By the way, they started tracking this in 1967, the gasoline price. So even higher than the energy crisis of the 70s. So that was the breakdown. I don't think there was any big surprise in it. And, even in the numbers on the food side, they did say dairy was down 1.6, meat, poultry, fish, and eggs down 0.9. But overall food, cereals, bakery up 2%, fruits and vegetables up 4%, non-alcoholic beverages up almost 5%. So, overall, not bad. We knew it was going to be bad, but it could have been worse. February will be worse, but we'll see. The problem will be April will be worse. What's going to happen May, June, July? That's really, I think, going to be the bigger issue, and maybe we'll know it this weekend. Maybe we will not. The president was. Apparently, he just found out that Iran's charging people to go through the strait. He said they better stop it, and he's very upset. We'll see. And then we got consumer confidence today. That one was a really ugly number. So if for those of you like me that think, hey, they're going to cut rates, this will be one of the things I'll look at for doing it. We'll be back after the break. 800-951-0592, Patriot Radio News Hour here on this Friday. Quick look here at the markets. The Dow's down 120, not bad. The S&P's up 16. The Nasdaq's up 170. The 10-year note is higher, 4.3 and change. Crude oil higher, but still right around $99. So we're just kind of waiting, I guess, to see what happens next. And again, remember, this is not what people are actually paying for crude oil. This is for May delivery. And, of course, on on Brent, June deliveries, if you want oil right now, at about $40. And I got an update on jet fuel here in just a little bit. But that is where the markets are there. Gold is up again and waiting patiently, hovering right below that $4,800 level, up $17, $47.85. Silver higher as well, up another $1.30, $76.50. I got some good news on silver. I got another little shot of silver here coming your way in a little bit, so be ready for that. Kevin Warsh, so he is supposed to be the next head of the Fed. His confirmation hearing was set for April 16th. That has been delayed. The reason being, just so people may not know this, Kevin Warsh is married to the heir of Estee Lauder Cosmetics, and apparently she's inherited it. His wife Jane, she's worth $1.9 billion, by the way. So, in case you were wondering, where Kevin Warsh sits. Right? He's one of the richest people in the world. Well, his wife isn't. He's married to her, so you can do the math there. The issue is, now Warsh was already in the Fed. Was married to Estee Lauder heir then. 1,200 assets. But it's okay because, his wife owns them all. That's how they do it. The last 15 years, so he left the Fed in 2011, went to work for Stan Druckenmiller, right? This guy, I tell you got to listen to him. Some of the things that you probably won't like, one of the things that he did is he was the guy leading the venture capitalists to fund Palantir. Of course, we don't really like Palantir, do we? But that was what Warsh was doing before Donald Trump tagged him again. So it looks like the delay is more on, hey, we need more time. You got way too many ads. You're too rich. We need a little more time. My guess is it's going to happen, and he'll get through rather easily, I think. But I'll keep you posted. If, for whatever reason, it gets delayed too long or he doesn't get approved, Jay Powell would stay until a replacement came, just in case. And, I don't think that's going to happen, but you need to know that. Then out of Europe this morning, saying that if crude oil supplies do not go back to normal, that they have less than 3 weeks worth of jet fuel. According to EU Commissioner, saying that hard economic impacts would follow fuel shortages on the European economy. And again, this will be the problem. If we're sitting here doing 15 tankers a day, that's not going to get it done. You're going to see different countries have different problems. The EU saying the first thing they're going to run out will be jet fuel, and they were watching closely as airlines now are going to have to decide, right, because they'll just have to cancel flights. That's going to be something. So be careful for those of you wanting to go over the pond this summer. Yeah, you may not be able to get back home. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But again, where we're at now, the bombs have stopped, at least with Iran, not with Lebanon. But the first few days of this truce, this ceasefire, not going to do it. So let's hope something good comes out of this weekend. I mean, they need to get back to somewhat normal shipping, and they need to do it soon. Like we said, Jason and I have kind of said this, there was a lot out there. All of that's gone. Right? The ships have come, or they're almost there, and there's nothing coming behind it. So, if you, when you think about Europe says we got 2 or 3 weeks left, that means something's got to leave right now. Right? It's going to take them 10 days to 2 weeks to get there. So we'll see what happens. Then, while we're not paying attention, what is going on with the debt? We've been very focused on the auctions, right? We had a 30-year auction yesterday. You know what? I'll say this. It could have been worse. Wasn't very good. Could have been worse. And we know they've got a lot of money that they want to borrow, right? They want another $200 billion just for this. Here's the problem, the $200 they want. They've spent it, right? It's already spent. Then on top of that, we know they're getting ready. It's April. Fiscal year ends in September. And they're already asking for huge increases for next year's budget. So here we sit, $39 trillion and 39.1. So far in the first 6 months, $529 billion in interest. And when you look at taxes, this is something I don't think most people realize. And I'm talking all of it. Okay, now you have FICA. Okay, that's separate. Let's payroll tax, set that aside, right? Because that's Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. Of course, it's not enough, but let's not count that. I'm talking anybody who has to pay taxes above and beyond that. all the businesses, all the taxpayers that have to pay the federal income tax. I want you to know every single dollar goes to paying the interest. Heck, I don't think it even totals enough to pay all the interest. So when you think about taxation and you look at the debt, we can't even pay the interest right now. That's how bad the situation is. Right now, when you look at debt, you got Social Security, which is approaching 1.6, 1.7 trillion. Medicare, Medicaid, just under 2 trillion, right? Defense, there's another trillion, right? And then you throw on interest on the debt, that's over $1 trillion. But when you really look, take payroll tax on just people that pay federal income tax, nothing but interest is being paid, and we don't even pay all of that. Unfortunately, the Congressional Budget Office says that is only going to get worse. Right now, they're paying $88 billion a month in interest. They say that, unfortunately, this number continues to get worse. The Department of Defense, they're looking at $461 billion. So think about this, 461 for defense, 529 on interest. Of course, now the Defense Department, they want another $200 billion. Department of Education, $70 billion, to give you an idea, right? So just to throw that out there. Last year, net interest payments were $497 billion for the first 6 months. So already this year, $33 billion more in interest. That's a 7% increase. So for the year, we're probably going to be somewhere close to $70 billion more in interest this year than last year. And unfortunately, Jason, it looks like they're expecting the interest to jump significantly in 2027, and that they expect to be paying well over $100 billion a month in interest payments in 2027.
Yeah, I don't know if that's even a high enough number. We could have a much higher number.
We don't know yet, but
we could it could be $120 billion a month. It's let's just see how the rest of this year goes, because there's plenty of speed bumps before we even get to next year.
Gosh, it's insanity, isn't it? When we think about how fast this is. Of course, none of us are paying attention. I real quickly, not that we need to know, but the USPS, the Postal Service, they're out of money, and they told Congress that they are no longer contributing to their pension fund, because if they did, there wouldn't be any money to pay people. Now, the post office, at least the government was making them pay their pension. Their pension was fully funded, or at least close enough. But, Jason, now they're going the way of everybody else, saying we just can't make any more payments on that. And apparently 78 cents, not enough for a stamp. I guess when are we going to privatize the post office? I guess that's the question, right? Right now, between FedEx, UPS, throw Amazon in, Walmart could probably deliver the mail better, but all you postal workers, unfortunately, they're going to stop paying. By the way, the post office is losing on average about, give or take, $7, $8, $9 billion a year, every year.
No government entities lose money. They just charge more interest-bearing printed money to pay for it. We get taxed, and that pays the interest on the debt. And the debt is simply whatever the money makers and the government decide to print and buy. So the post office is not going anywhere. It could be the last used option in mail service in the coming years. We could have everyone sending letters in some other fashion, and they're still going to have that thing up and running, Joe. It doesn't matter how big the losses are.
Yeah.
They're going to keep it going because it's paid for. It's simply a stroke of a pen, and and a good enough lobby. I'm sure the post office has just a good enough lobby. I'm sure it's a red, white, and blue flag.
Well, in worst case scenario, right?
Well, Pony Express and all that.
Pension Guarantee Fund, right? There's nobody there. Just throw it in there, right?
Toss it in.
And then last but not least, the University of Michigan Consumer Survey. One of the biggest drops yet. The consumer now negative on the U.S. economy.
No, sir. Yes, ma'am. Back.
800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour on this Friday, and I think it's going to be kind of just like this, kind of quiet until we get some type of something out of what's going on in Pakistan right now. University of Michigan, though, the worst number going all the way back to 1980. Expectations for the rest of the year even worse than the headline numbers. 1 year expectations for inflation up to 5%. Business conditions for the next year plunged almost 20%. Now is well below where they were last year. So this one was a tough one. And again, all expected, right? And this is now, to be fair, this is before the ceasefire. I don't know if anybody feels any better about the ceasefire, but that is definitely something. Again, is this leading to the consumer spending less? The GDP, I don't know if you saw, it came out yesterday, revised it lower, back down. Now GDP last year down to 2.1%. We'll see how this goes. And again, they want higher prices. It's kind of weird. They want inflation because they need inflation to get the bigger GDP. Can the consumer actually afford the higher inflation? That's kind of what everybody is questioning right now. But I have some good news today. So last week we were running those BU pre-1921 Morgan dollars, and we sold a snot load of them. Two great things have happened. Number one, the cost of those jumped $4, which is great, right? So you guys don't even have them yet, and they're worth almost what you paid for them already. But they shipped yesterday, and they said to me, "Hey Joe, we had 100 left over. If we gave them to you at the same price, do you want them?" And I said, "Sure, I'll take them." So I've got 100 more. We ran them at $77 a piece. Spot silver is pretty much almost $77, $76.35. So I've got 100. Now remember, these are BU Morgans, and these are pre-1921s. So I promise you, nobody is going to be selling you BU Morgans at $77. And essentially, that's almost cost on these now. So jump in here. These are super, it's always super cool when you get a coin from like 1890, 1880 something, and it looks almost, it's not brand new, but it looks almost new, right? That is super cool. And, especially if you think about it, I mean, gosh, you're talking about coins that are 150 years old or so, Jason?
Yeah, I mean, the first Morgan dollar minted in 1878 will be a 150-year-old coin in 2 years. So not quite there, but some of them are going to be getting there in the next few years. And then, so essentially, the majority of these coins are 125 years old.
There you go.
Well, I mean, 1904. So 122 years old will be the youngest coin you will get.
The youngest, right? The youngest coin, 800-951-0592. And I will say this. Morgan dollar, it's a good-looking coin. The peace dollar was kind of plain. The Morgan dollar, it's a very, very good-looking coin. And to have it in that condition is just a great opportunity at 800-951.
Back when America was a much stronger nation, in my opinion. Look, in the 1800s, the 1700s, and the early 1800s, we didn't put people on coins. It was supposed to be a vision of liberty, which is Lady Liberty, on the obverse, and it's supposed to be freedom. Liberty on the obverse, freedom on the back. The freedom was always the eagle. So there always had to be an eagle on the back of our coinage, and there always had to be liberty.
Okay.
And what happened was, 1909, what did they do, Joe? They started putting presidents on. Lincoln came first, and then it kept happening. So these coins are
all after that.
It's what it's what I think we probably should have stayed with.
800-951-0592. I've got some breaking news I want to get to in just a second here. You know what's interesting is we're starting to see all of a sudden refineries are having problems. Last week we had a pipeline that fed the East Coast have an issue. Right, just an issue. We had a refinery. There was an explosion at a refinery in Texas. This morning we wake up, Mexico, one of the largest refineries in Mexico, it just randomly blew up. I don't, 340,000 barrels a day of a huge fire in its coke storage area. So that's like, I don't know I would think that's probably one of the worst places, right? Because all of that's just pure fuel, right? They're saying that this is a refiner that exports its refined products to the United States, by the way. So that's not good. It broke out on Thursday afternoon. The fire is finally been put out. No word on when it will reopen. They produce 77,000 barrels of gasoline a day, 78,000 barrels of diesel a day. So you guys can it's just kind of weird that this is happening.
Are we getting back to that again? So I'm saying this is a repeat, so except for its oil refineries. Remember 2022?
Well, you're right. Remember we had the food thing?
The 2022, all the Walmart warehouses and these buildings and these meat companies, they were all catching on fire and planes were hitting them and trains were falling over and blowing up. And then it just stopped. And then it just stopped happening.
It just stopped, right? It just stopped happening. Did you see the guy that burnt down the Kimberly-Clark toilet paper facility in California this week? Wow, talk about disgruntled. And the funny thing is, the guy videoed it. Yeah, he's in jail now, but I don't know. Hopefully that doesn't mean there's going to be a toilet paper shortage, but it was a lot of toilet paper that went up in flames. When we get back, I do have breaking news about these peace talks. Stay with us. 800-951-0592. We're down to 59. Good job, guys. These are going to be spectacular. They should be in Phoenix, I think, Monday, Tuesday at the latest. Like I said, they shipped yesterday, and then we'll have them up to Colorado midweek next week. These are BU. And honestly, they're probably gradable Morgans. They just don't know, right? The getting coins. By the way, those plastic slabs they put them in, guess what's in them? Oil. Right? You need oil to make it. But really, really awesome. Jump on them. They're $77 a piece, and I only have 59 of them left. Also, I will be on another money show tomorrow. So I did. They pre-record. So I was on with JR and Anthony. That's tomorrow on 960, The Patriot, at 5 a.m. and then again at noon. So if you guys want to check that out, you Colorado people, you want to log into AM 960, The Patriot in Phoenix tomorrow, you can check that out. Of course, you guys know JR. He comes on regular with us here. But let's get to it. So they have arrived in Pakistan, and already it's not off to a great start. The Speaker of the Iranian Parliament, the guy that they've been saying the notes from Pakistan have been going to this guy, said before negotiations can even begin, a ceasefire in Lebanon, okay, which, that should be something we should be able to get the Israelis to do, I would think, right? I mean, come on, we just blew the snot out of Iran. Knock it off for a minute, right? But no, they're still bombing. I don't know. Yeah. But there's now a second demand. Release of all Iranian blocked assets prior to the commencements of the negotiations. So right now, Iran is saying, we're not even going to show up unless you do these two things. So not off to a great start, Jason. Right now, they did say this. They did say this, though, that the Iranians are willing to negotiate with certain countries to secure voyages, but it will be on a case-by-case basis. And, of course, as we've told you, only 15 ships have gone through a day. Most of those are Iranian, China-linked tankers. So, not essentially, China's getting stuff. I think India's getting stuff, Pakistan, but pretty much nobody else, Jason.
Yeah. Well, it's I guess the question would be: is it more Iranian vessels or more Chinese vessels? I don't know exactly how the oil to China works out. I mean, is that Iran taking it there?
Chinese vessels with Iranian oil?
Right. That's what I would think it would be.
That's what I'm thinking.
It seems like Iran would let their own, but I guess they don't have to send ships through there because they got refineries on the other side, right?
Yeah. So
like common sense. Let's have some refineries on the other side of that thing. I think is that how Iran does it?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Pretty sure they do on the south side.
Just to be clear, according to this, the guy here, the head of parliament in Iran, the one that most people think is running the country, he's got Twitter or X. I'm sorry, Elon. He's got X. And he is saying that both of these measures were agreed upon before as part of the ceasefire deal. Pakistan, by the way, is backing up at least the claim that Lebanon was part of the deal. I haven't seen Pakistan confirm the releasing of Iranian assets, but Pakistan this morning said, yes, Lebanon was always supposed to be part of the ceasefire deal, and of course, we're saying that it isn't.
It just doesn't sound like there's much ground for an actual long-term ceasefire. We'll see, Joe. Yeah. I don't know what to believe. When we talk about these things.
You know what? Again, who knows, right? I'm just reading what they're putting out there. Who knows?
I mean, I don't even know if the guy they're talking to is the right guy, right?
I'm sitting there saying the guy that they're saying's in charge. We don't know.
It wasn't too many years ago when Guaido was supposed to be the president of Venezuela. Now nobody even speaks about Guaido anymore. That's old news, right? Never mind that he was the leader supposedly, right? So we don't even know. We have no idea what they're doing, right? I mean, it's a bad look for the Ayatollah who apparently died, but we don't know for sure because we haven't seen any bodies. It's a bad look for him to be dealing with the Western powers, right? So if Iran is actually entering into actual negotiations, in which I don't know, I'm just speculating.
Oh no,
it's a bad look for the Ayatollah. You got to get somebody else there to play that part, Joe. So let's see what happens.
Okay. Well, I'll do it when we get back. You know what? Forget 2 fingers of Jack. 3 fingers of Jack, because you're not going to believe what I'm going to tell you next. Jump on these. Listen, we got 50 Morgans. 59 BU 21 Morgans. 321 Morgans. Pretty much at cost, $77. 800-951-0592. We got lucky. We got a bonus 100 pre-1921 Morgan dollars. They shipped yesterday afternoon. I've got 2 lines open. We only had 59, so I don't know. We hopefully we're not out yet. Call 800-951-0592. They're only $77. Okay. Losses are starting to pick up on Wall Street. The 10-year note has jumped 2 basis points, 432. It was at 430. Oil getting ready to go back above $100 a barrel. Gold is now flat, literally flat, 47.67. Silver still at $76. But now speculation that this may just be a delay tactic by the United States, giving them time to regroup and reload. According now, I guess this is the whisper around Washington. Zero Hedge, Tyler Durden, usually his stuff's pretty good, that this may be cover for a greater Pentagon force buildup, that they needed more time to get the Marines and airborne units in place. They're speculating that this is going to be an island takeover, so I'm assuming Karg Island is where they want to go if this is true, that they were low on ammunition and supplies. The case made for this in the last 24 hours, 70 military transport planes have landed in the Middle East. So we'll see what happens right now. Yesterday, the straits being fully reopened by the end of the month, by the end of April, was at like 37%. Jason, it's now below 20% and headed in the wrong direction.
Once again, we're going to have to see what happens.
And all of this can be nonsense. I don't know. Right? I don't know. If there's a ground invasion, then we'll know this is not a fake war. I've been saying this the whole time. We can't tell if there's negotiations going on and if there's something rigged going on, or are they trying to take this country out? For the banking system once and for all, and what you're talking about with a build-up and an invasion and trying to take over control of the Strait of Hormuz would be very important, Joe. Okay. President Trump, the New York Post says they have confirmed that he is preparing the U.S. military for a likely bigger operation if Tehran does not comply. We're going to find out in about 24 hours. We're going to know soon. According to the president. So, again, we've heard, this is kind of the big talk from both sides. Let's hope the actual talks are not what we're reporting. Because if it is, then we're gonna, Monday's really gonna suck. How's that? If that's true,
I think I had a suggestion for Iran. They should get a commander that negotiates with the United States and Israel. That's an AI bot. And so they have to negotiate with the Iran AI bot. And then every time they bomb the AI bot, he can't actually go away. He just reloads in the next computer and goes to the next negotiation. Then we'd have to actually sit down and negotiate without killing the negotiators, Can't kill the bot.
Your AI bot negotiates with our AI bot. Listen, God bless everybody.